Hey guys, and welcome! Today is the start of week 2 of the current Liquidators event in Battlefield 2042, and we also got a set of new weekly missions to level up the battle pass. But before I get into all of this, we also got a little sneak peek to update 2.2 that will arrive next week and that will add persistent servers to the game. But what does that mean? Well, right now if you host an experience in Battlefield Portal, the server will only stay online as long as there are players on it. Once the last player leaves the server, it gets shut down and won't appear in the browser anymore until the experience is hosted again. A persistent server, on the other hand, will stay active for a certain time even if there are no players on it. So this will be a huge improvement, especially for community events and special experiences like hardcore servers where people want to come back to. But not everyone will have access to this feature. The way it is planned right now is that only owners of the Premium Battle Pass will be able to host persistent servers. They will then have an additional option they can enable when hosting a server, but players who don't own the Premium Battle Pass won't have this feature. So it's again something you basically have to pay for, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but that's just how it is planned right now and might change at some point in the future. When you have access to the feature, you will be able to host one persistent server at a time with your account, and this server will stay up for 7 days, even if there's no one on it. So a very nice and welcome addition to Portal, even if it's again behind a paywall, but in this case it's somewhat understandable. And now let's take another look at week 2 of the Liquidators event. There were not so many changes made this week, we didn't get any new unlockable items like already expected, and the store items have also not changed. All 5 bundles that were added last week with the start of the event are still available until next week, and no new items were added. There are also no new free items in the store, but if you haven't claimed the AK-24 skin yet that was added last week, you need to do it within the next 7 days. The only cosmetic item that was added and can be claimed by everyone is the login reward, which is a headgear for McKay this time, and to receive it you need to finish 1 match and then it should be available at the end of the round. A more recognizable change was made to the new mode Tactical Conquest, which is now at 16 vs 16 players instead of 8 vs 8, and this makes the mode play a lot more like the old domination modes. There's still all the spawn trapping issues that we had in the smaller version, especially on the more linear maps, and if you don't have a few players who actively try to break the trap or try to flank, you will end up in a very one-sided match again, but overall the increased player count fits the size of the maps a lot better and makes them feel less empty. It also feels a bit more casual and easier to get into, and even if you have one very good player in one team, it doesn't have that massive impact on the match that it had in the 8 vs 8 mode. So if you abandoned the mode last week or you didn't like the small version of it, be sure to give it another try to see if you like the bigger version. What was also changed, and what I had criticized in my last video, is that Tactical Conquest is not a part of the Portal tab anymore. It's only in the Event tab now, so there's no risk anymore of getting into the wrong mode and not earning ribbons for the cosmetic unlocks. Besides this, everything is still the same. The event will last for 1 more week until October 25th, and you only have these 7 days left to earn enough ribbons for the cosmetics. The new missions for this week are a bit more focused on long-range combat and vehicle damage, and that comes as a bit of a surprise to me, cause when there's such a close combat focused mode in the game and it only lasts for a limited time, why do they add missions that can't be completed in this mode? Maybe this should be improved for the next event, cause these missions could have been easily swapped for more close combat or at least infantry missions that can all be completed in the limited time mode, so basically the way it was last week. However, in the first section of this week, you need to earn 3 ribbons, travel 300 meters with a wingsuit or parachute, and resupply 15 teammates with ammo. All of these can theoretically be done in Tactical Conquest, but for the next missions you would have to get out of it anyhow, so I would recommend normal Conquest or Breakthrough instead. For the loadout, I went in with Sundance to do the wingsuit distance, with an ammo crate for the resupplies and to earn logistics ribbons, and with a proc sensor to spot enemies and easily earn some intel ribbons. So you won't have to change your loadout in between and can do all of the 3 missions at the same time. For the wingsuit and the parachute, just note that only the horizontal distance you travel counts. So if you get out of a heli, for example, and just let yourself float down on the parachute, it might not count. Or when you dive down a skyscraper on Kaleidoscope with a wingsuit. You have to travel a distance horizontally and not vertically. Once you unlocked the second section, you need to do 20 kills and assists with vehicles, do 3 kills in 1 life, and inflict 300 damage to vehicles. And that's what I meant with the missions not being focused on the limited time mode, because there are no vehicles at all in Tactical Conquest, so you have to play another mode. For the kills and assists, I can only recommend the same thing I always do, which is try and get into the passenger seat of a helicopter and just let the assists come in. Or if you can and want to, be a gunner or a pilot or a tank driver yourself. Being a passenger is just the easiest way to complete this mission. If you want to be a good passenger, take your repair tool with you and try to keep the vehicle alive as long as possible. That helps everyone. The 3 kills in 1 life are surely not much of a problem, but if you should struggle with this, try to focus more on destroying vehicles. There is a good chance at the moment to get a full heli or tank down and have the mission done with 1 blow, plus you have to deal damage to vehicles anyhow to complete the other mission, so you can complete 2 of them at once. For the third section, you need to do 5 headshot kills with sniper or marksman rifles and 50 kills and assists in general, and I don't think any of these 2 missions need a deeper explanation. And then for the bonus mission, you only have to do 10 kills with sniper or marksman rifles in general. In All Out War, there were again not many changes made, and the only thing that was swapped was Exodus Conquest, which was removed once again, and instead Master of Arms Conquest was added. This is the 128 player version of the mode, but only played on the new maps Stranded and Renewal, so might be pretty helpful for the traveling distance with the wingsuit and 2 vehicle missions. Over in Portal, there were 2 new modes added again since Tactical Conquest was removed, and this week it's Conquest Chainlink and Rush XL. Conquest Chainlink has been in the game a few times now and should be well known already, and Rush XL is the normal rush mode but with 128 players instead of 32, so pure chaos. And in the item store, there was nothing new added this week like I already mentioned at the beginning, and only the 5 bundles of the event are still available. And that's it for today, your usual overview of the weekly missions alongside the few things that have changed for the event today. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching, I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.